Hello, everybody. How's it going? First stream back in a while. It's been a couple of weeks or so. My last stream didn't go too well. Stuff was broken. If you guys remember, that was the last Symmetria stream weekend. And yeah, stuff was broken, but stuff appears to be fixed for today, which is great. Going to be streaming some more Agent Emmy game dev stuff. There's some stuff which I've been wanting to do, but I've sort of been saving for stream, so we're going to be doing that today. And yeah, excited to be doing more of this today. I haven't really been streaming a whole bunch lately, but I have been doing a bunch of Symmetria content over my YouTube channel, which has been a ton of fun. Been making a lot of progress on that. But yeah, I'm excited to get back to doing a little bit of real streaming. So let's open up this right here. Hello. I have done the lighthouse. I've had it. I don't think I had done the lighthouse in the last stream. Or at least I had modelled it, but I hadn't added it in. And now I've got it all scaled and everything, and it looks pretty snazzy. I really like the light glass bit at the top. It's very simple. It's just a sort of it's just a cylinder with a material on it. That's basically it. But it does the job. It does the thing. But today, what I'm going to be doing is actually also thank you for the tier 1 sub for 23 months in a row. Thank you so much, my guy. Thank you. Appreciate that a whole bunch. Hello, how are you doing? Hello, author. How goes it? How is it going? Going to be working on some more Agent Emmy today. Hopefully the stream is all actually working today. Mate, also, you've been sub 23 months. That's almost 2 years. That's nuts. And Slumpert, thank you for the 8 months resub. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you. Look, dinner time. I have to catch the end of the stream later. Thank you. No worries, dude. Appreciate you coming in and dropping the sub. Thank you. Not too bad, except your keyboard decided it was going to be American for an American one for no reason. Oh dear. Well, what's the difference between American keyboard and like a UK keyboard? Like, what's the difference there? I actually forget. Isn't like something the wrong way around? Shift 4 is at. Not for okay. Shift 2 rather. I just need to poke something real quick. There we go, poke that. How's the stream looking? Is it all good? Is the audio good? I hope everything's good. after the last stream. That was a bit of a podcast stream, that was. And some other things. Yeah, we get so. Yeah, if the stream's all good, which I'm hoping it is, what we're going to be working on today is we're not going to be working on this island bit for the moment. We're actually going to be doing some test stuff, some testing things in regards to gameplay. I've made a little bit of a test area, and it's actually underneath the island. That's not it. That's a different thing. Big cube. Where is it? There it is. game development for where you get to hide things underneath things where people wouldn't normally go. But yeah, we're going to be working in this space today. So I've got this area test up, and it's called Combat Test Zone. And it's basically we're going to be testing or starting to test some combat stuff. Also, as we deemed a stretch for 250, I'll do a bit of a stretch. Although I've just literally sat down and started the stream, so but it's good to get a bit of a stretch in, you know. But yeah, we can be testing out some combat stuffs, or at least starting to do it. Which means we're going to be doing a bit of the don't care, 50k points. You've been saving. He's been saving. But yeah, we're going to be doing a bit of like scripting and things. The main thing I want to do today is for combat zone transition. So I've got a first-person player setup, and I've got my normal third-person character here as well. And what I want to do is when you go to enter the combat zone, I want it to do like a little transition where it zooms in to the first-person controller, and then you can go around and do the combat stuffs. So yeah, this is for third-person Emmy. So you can like move the camera around, you can zoom in and out, you can run around. And I've got this little doorway here. So what the idea is, you'll run up to here, and then like you'll have the camera sort of pan in up to the back of the player's head, and then it'll sort of transition into the first person camera. I'll show you what that looks like real quick. So I disable that. At the moment, the first person camera from a third person's perspective is literally just like it's just a pair of hands. It's just a pair of hands. That's how it looks from the outside perspective, but we're going to ignore that. We're going to ignore that it's just a floating pair of hands. But it acts pretty much as you guys would expect. Got a little gun. We're probably not going to get around to doing any firing mechanics or anything, but yeah, it's actually quite speedy. I might need to turn the speed down a tad, but yeah, this is basically what it looks like. We've got this little space we can run around in, so that's what we're going to be doing today. So disable that again and re-enable for third person character. So basically I need like some sort of I'll need like a trigger box, a camera, I need to animate the camera, and I'll probably need I don't have an animation for Emmy pulling the gun out. So the idea I had was like you go up to the area and like you'll initiate sort of like a very short sort of cutscene, I guess. No, not really a cutscene, but it's like a transition cutscene kind of thing. Where you see Emmy and she like pulls the gun out and it like zooms in. But I don't have an animation for Emmy pulling the gun out. I've just got idle and walking animations. So actually what I should do is actually create a thing to attach all of this to. So I'm just going to do a cube and rename it to first person combat transition. Where's that cube gone? It's over there. Come over here. Come over here, cube. I love working with cubes. Cubes are great. You can do so much with cubes. You can just attach stuff to them. They're good for having... good for trigger boxes. It's great. Okay. Is it a companion cube? Unfortunately, it's not going to be a companion cube today. It's just going to serve as a trigger box. Although, some sort of companion cube would be kind of cool. Actually, my version of a companion cube is my Boxco boxes. So like these are basically like my companion cubes. My Boxco boxes. They like appear in like pretty much every game project which I've done recently. I've put these in some way or form. But yeah, it's yeah. Maybe I should do some sort of companion cube. At least in some way that's not going to get me in trouble with Valve. So set that to trigger. I'll keep the box rendered for a moment just so I can see it. Also going to need an Emmy and a camera attached to it. Transition camera. Transition camera. So line that to there. First person character. Actually, let's scooch this over a bit. Characters. Actually, I want to go in here. Actually, don't I have a... Yeah. I feel like I could just copy and paste this, because that already has the animations on it. If I paste that into there, then I can take the camera off. So delete that. It also doesn't need doesn't need the movement script on it. Doesn't need a rigid body. Doesn't need any colliders. That saves some time. Okay. Scaling's gonna be a bit weird for some reason. Oh, that's because... Ah, I know why that's weird. Also redeemed a hydrate, so I shall take a sip of my zesty drink. Hashtag not sponsored by Coca-Cola, as much as I wish I was. Combat transition score test. I can put that there. Put the camera in there. Put Emmy in there. Transition cameras there, cool. Panda Cola. Coke's a bit iffy. Okay, so I want to move this Emmy up to there, or at least up to where the first person controller is. Out there. Trigger doesn't need to render on it anymore. So these can be disabled for a moment. So basically, this box right here, when the player runs into it, that's when it will trigger the transition stuff. Actually, I do need to reactivate these. Camera, align with view. Keep out there, maybe. So basically, I'm going to need to animate this camera to zoom in, so I'm going to create a new folder and do combat transition basically just going to stick the animation in here. So I need to create animation, zoom, score in, and basically there'll be another one of these set up for when you leave. So what I'm thinking is when you enter a combat zone, like a door behind you will like close you in, and you have to like maybe clear out all the enemies or like complete an objective, and then a new door will open up and you can leave, and it will transition back into the third person character. I think that could be kind of neat. So I'm going to need position. Basically it'll start from here, drag that across. Is it on the exit goes in? Yeah. So I basically want it to go to about there. Actually, I do need to make that maybe 2 seconds long, or maybe 2.5. Actually, I'll stick with 2 for a moment, and we can adjust it later. So I don't want it to loop, so uncheck that. Okay, so if I just disable the third person character real quick and hit play, you should see that camera will just zoom in. Nice, that works. So basically, what I've got to now script is when the player enters the or hits the trigger box, I want it to disable the third person character, enable the transition camera and the transition Emmy, then after 2 seconds disable that camera and the third person Emmy, or the transition Emmy, and then enable the first person controller. It's very, very simple stuff. So C# script and combat transition. Enter. Call it transition enter, so I can know. Because I'll need a separate one for exit. So I put that onto the trigger. Might take a second. And I believe what I need to put, basically, I think I can use an old script and then adjust it for what I need it to do. I mean, that, in my experience, that's like a lot of what scripting is. You just find a script that works, which is as close as what you want to do as possible, then modify it for it to fit what you need. I've done that so much over the years. It's just how things work. Okay, that goes in there, and I can open it up. It'll take a second to open up. Visual Studio is sometimes a bit finicky when it opens up. It'll like open, and then it'll be like, "Oh, I'm not responding," and then it'll take a second to actually boot up properly. In the meantime, I can open up File Explorer and I can go into my Project Amelia stuff, and I should have something close enough that I can use. Which I think I do actually. It's probably like a cutscene script or something. Scripts. Cutscene cam. Front door trigger. No, that's probably not. Actually, I think I had one to do with a lift door or elevator door. Enter lift. Let's have a look at that one. That might one. Player on trigger enter. No, because that doesn't have the timing stuff on it that I need. Get rid of these notes because I know what they do. Elevator 1 maybe? No, not that one. That's just a UI text prompt. Would it be door open maybe? have a look at the door open. I think that just might be a open the door thing. But it does have the timing script that I need. Okay, this will probably do. I can use bits of this for what I need. So I need a game object, a public game object for first person player and third person player. I also need game object for transition test. Okay, so I need what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 public game objects. How many on this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. That's perfect actually. I can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Copy and paste that. Come into here, paste. So FP player TP player. We also need one for transition trigger. Transition cam. Transition any. What else do I need? I don't need sound audio clip. I don't need animator. I do need this. So that's basically going to be the timer. I'll set it in engine for like 2.1 because I can't do 0.1 in here. So actually I don't need these. I just need void on trigger enter. So basically need that. Oh wait. So I want to. Oh yeah, I need to. No. Yeah, no, I don't need to add another one. So I need TP player set to false. Then transition cam set to true. Transition ME also set to true. This is when the timing bit comes in, so I need this bit here. I need to get rid of that stuff. So camera active, ME active, players false. Basically I need the transition stuff all set to false after the timer, and the first person player set to active. Actually, I might set another timer. Public vote. Wait, I need to have a look at something I've already... recent files. Door trigger, UI prompt, blah 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 blah. No. Let's do sec2. I'll adjust that in engine again, so I'll leave it at 2. So basically, if it's got, I'll do a bit of explaining. If it's got public in front of it, I'll be able to adjust it in engine through the inspector instead of having to come back to the script and adjust it. It's handy. So I want these. These need to be set to false. And what I'm going to do is another timer, which would be slightly longer than the initial timer. Late call 2. And what that'll do, that will disable the trigger with this script on it, because if it gets disabled here, it might be disabled too quickly. Oh yeah, and also in here, FP player needs to be set active to true. This sec2, copy, set active false, transition trigger. Oop. False. Okay, that should work. That should work in theory. It might not. It might not work first try, but we'll find out. So, transition trigger. Okay, so I need to put the script on there. So transition trigger needs to go there. FP player goes there. Camera there. Transition ME there. 2.1, 2.25. Then third person player there. So that can be disabled. Then third person player can be re-enabled. Save. Then let's test it out. Oh wait, third person player. This isn't gonna work because I haven't tagged the third person player as a player yet. So, oh, where's my mouse gone? There it is. So I need to unplay and actually set the tag as player. Now that should work. Should. I say should. I say should. So what we should see is when I went up to it, everything should activate and transition and whatnot properly. Run up. Goes in. Ah! That could be a bit smoother, but it works. Wow, that's pretty neat. That's pretty neat. I like that. I mean, like I said, it could be a bit smoother, but that pretty much that works. Nice. So the next thing to do would be to do it in reverse. So I'd need basically the same thing. Put the camera to pan out of the first person character. But I think, okay, I want to try it again real quick. It's actually quite satisfying the first time it works. It's like playing Minecraft and making something out of redstone and then trying it and working first time. So run up to the thing. Yeah, it's like, I feel like maybe because the player hits the trigger here, then they sort of get teleported forward a bit. Maybe the trigger box should... Maybe the rest of it should be moved back a bit. But that can be adjusted. That's fine. That's fine, we can adjust that later on. Maybe... I do kind of want to test out some shooting, but I haven't really looked into... Well, I have looked into shooting scripts, but I haven't looked it up before the stream, so I don't really know what I'm doing in that sense. Actually, if I go into build settings real quick and player settings, where am I looking? Input manager. Isn't there a... Oh no, there's a fire. Mouse button. Maybe. Ori! How's it going? Hello, Ori. Hello, hello. I could also... Actually, I haven't played around too much with the first person character too much. So I could set up some obstacles. Yeah, well, let's do that. You're doing well, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. We're just doing some game dev stuffs today. There's a couple of things I wanted to do today, so yeah, let's add in some obstacles. Obstacles? There's obstacles. Something like that. Scenery. Oh, excuse me. Scenery, that works. Okay, let's bring that over here a bit. That can serve as a central point. For where all of obstacle stuff can go. Or scenery or whatever. Boxes. I'm doing good, thank you. It seems like I've got all my streaming stuff fixed, so I'm glad. I'm glad I'm able to stream now. After the Symmetria stream weekend, where everything was sort of broken. Okay, let's get some boxes. Because we like some boxes in here. You think you've messed with your settings? Seems choppier, but I don't know what to do. You could, if it's choppy, maybe adjust bitrate or the frame rate. Maybe. I don't know. I'm still a bit. I've been streaming for who knows how long now, and I'm still a bit of a noob when it comes to it. It's at 30. Strange. Well, actually, I should add some physics to these, so I can push them around and stuff. Simple box collider would do, right? We'll also need a rigid body. Stubborn, hello. Might have to set it to default and try again. You could try that too. I've always found that helps too, Ori. Just going back to reset stuff to default and then put everything back. How's it going, Stubborn? How you doing? It's good to see you. Okay, got some boxes. Now I want to see how the boxes interact with the first person character. Because for once I've got on the island interact a certain way with the third person character, but differently with first person when I initially tested. So bonk, 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 bonk. Okay. Nothing happens. Bonk. Also, the gun seems to clip through everything, so gonna need to figure that out at some point as well. Bonk. Okay, what's going on with the physics? It's probably something to do with the player. Let me change for collision detection actually and see if that changes anything. Let's see if that does anything. Waiting for a video to render. Cool beans. So it's always fun waiting for stuff to render, isn't it? It's too. I forgot to disable the. Forgot to disable some stuff. So there's two me. Oh, that's weird. That's weird to control two things at once. Go. There we are. That'll do it. Okay. Still can't seem to interact with the boxes. They should have physics on them though. I need to disable that guy. Not like a 30 plus minute long vid. If I lift those up a bit, also duplicate and bring them over here, should see that they have physics on them. And the third person character should be able to push him around just fine. I mean, I'm not too bothered about the first person player being able to push stuff around, but like, yeah, look, that's third person player does it absolutely fine. Unless just delete those real quick. Yeah, the first person player doesn't have a nav mesh agent on them. I'm also not sure that they need one. see if that does anything. It might not. I forgot to disable before I can play again, but oh well. Doesn't matter too much. Just testing things out. Looks cool. Thank you. Okay, no, the nav mesh agent doesn't actually do anything. So I'm gonna slow down the first person player speed to 7. Okay, I'm also gonna do. Actually, no, I've got a ramp, don't I? Which I made for the island. Boop, 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 boop. See, no, it's not in there. It's an object, isn't it? I'm not going to bother putting any textures or anything on this just because it's a test area. Don't really need to put textures and stuff on this. I don't really need a lot of detail. I mean, unless I put a dev texture on it. Assets, textures and materials, dev material, put a blue one on it. There we go, we got a vamp. Let's test this out. It should work all fine. Should be able to run around on it. I know the third person character walks around on it just fine. You've tested that out before. Cool. I was gonna say that. Why can I not? Why did I just run through that? But I know exactly why I just walked through that. It ain't got no physics on it. Add component, physics, mesh glider. There we go. Now it should work. Of course it's not going to physics if you don't put the physics on it. Boom. Transition. Yeah, there we go. Now we can run around on it. Climb up. I think because the third person character doesn't have. Third person character has a nav mesh on it, or has a navigation thingamajiggy on it. You can't actually run off the edge of it, but as a first person player, you can just run off it, but you also drop down really quickly because I've messed around with the gravity, so it just immediately drops you. I believe that is because what's messing? Yeah, the gravity is like a lot. if I adjust that down to like 250. Scripts, player. No, it was... in here. I think I ended up getting rid of jumping in the end. 9.81. Since I actually took jumping out of the script, I don't need gravity to be that crazy. I do actually quite like the little transition into first person. I mean, you could do some tweaking, but this I've just done this for testing purposes and actually get things set up a little bit. I do need to get an animation for Emmy to actually draw a gun. So if we... Oh. Okay, that's still a bit wild. What if I put it to positive? I'm not sure. It's been a minute since I've poked around with this and the first person movement anyway, so it's like I can't actually remember. Oh yeah, we're just floating in the air now. Okay. Just floating away. Stuck on the roof. Put the mass back down to 1. Gravity at 0. Putting gravity to 0 should just mean it's zero gravity. The other thing that needs doing is I do need to model some houses for the main island, but you probably won't do that this stream just because I don't have a lot of time. I need to go cook food later, so yeah, zero gravity just makes us float. So, what if I put that to negative? -4. You know what, I'm gonna disable the transition stuff. I just have a start as a first person character instead of going through the transition thing over and over and over again. I've seen it, it works, it's fine. Need some tweaking, but hey, we'll tweak it as we go. I do also need to do shooting mechanics and also like enemy mechanics, but that's going to have to come at a later time. I just wanted to do the transition today and also test a couple other things. I mean, that's still like, that feels really quick. Like it's like really strong. If I did like -1. Oh, I just remembered I need to show you guys the other thing I was testing out. It's just like a bit of a silly test. I mean, you can probably see it on the left side of the screen, but I'll show you guys in a second. Okay, gravity -1. That seems a bit better, but maybe it could be on 2. So the other thing I was testing out is it's just a floor, but if I activate this and disable the first person character for a second, is a little Emmy in a car. I mean, it doesn't have any proper like car controls, but it's basically just got like a static camera attached to it and like a very basic control scheme. So it's not even like a proper car, but it's something I thought would be funny just to try out a bit. Like you can just spin in circles in place, and there's like no acceleration; it just goes. It's just really silly, but like I wanted to try it out. Me. It's quite funny actually. I want to poke around with that more, but it's not the main focus. It's just a little Emmy in a car. Yeah, I find that funny. Okay, back to messing around with gravity a bit. I mean, something I do want to try is like on mouse press. Okay, that -1 feels good. It's like on mouse press. I want to try like I want to try out some gun animation stuff. So like with gun, I actually modeled it in like 3 different parts. So you got like the base of the gun, which is like the handle and stuff. When the mag actually is a magazine and it pops out. And the slider is also a separate thing, so that can be like pulled back and forwards. So like what I want to try is like on mouse click you'll play like an animation which will make the slide come back and then go back into place. And also I kind of want to if I get a sphere, attach it like here, shouldn't have any physics on it. What I kind of want to do is like a very sort of basic muzzle flash. So like have that there, and I could attach, I think I got that. That should also be transparent now. Is that transparent? It is. Actually, I'm going to need to make a new one. It is slightly transparent, but transparent, attach that. Does need to be a little less intense. I could also add a light to it. That's all. Flash. Attach. I'll probably want a point light to it. Up that to like 20 maybe. The intensity to like, or maybe not that bright, maybe 1.5. Still seems a little bright. Maybe 1 will do. So that could be something added to the first person movement, or would it be the mouse look? Could also be something separate. I mean, for movement scripts does count as like for controller, so just for keeping things together. Maybe keep it in there. Or I could just do a separate script. I'm just going to do a separate test script for now. Just call it shooting test. I forget what I need to do. I'm just going to open up Google Chrome quickly, so the stream quality might dip a little bit. Just need to do Unity. I just want to double check something. C#. On mouse. Click. Be on a mouse button down. Like that. And also need a public game object. for the muzzle flash. Dot set, and set active to true. I could also do a timer on it, so it'd only be there for like half a second. Okay, I can get rid of that now. So then I'd need this bit. So after like half a second, muzzle flash gets disabled. And then I can attach that. I missed something on the script. What have I done wrong? Where's my stuff? Here it is. What have I done? They call. I've missed the actual wait for seconds bit. That's what I missed. I actually need to tell it what to do with the timer. That's what I'm missing. So if I come into here, I can do 0.5 and add the muzzle flash. So when I load in game, when I click, what it should do is just flash that for a second or half a second. And then I can also add a play audio clip to it. So actually, yeah. Well, that's kind of cool. But it also needs to be a lot quicker than that. So if I reduce that to 0.25, maybe. So I could also add a sound effect into that, so it could go bang. I can tweak it as well so it has the animation where the slide comes back. Okay, that still seems a little bit slow. So what if I half it again? What would be half of 25? 12.5? No, it'd be. I'll just do it as 0.12. Ghost Arm. Hi, Slumpert. Yeah. Hello, welcome back, Slumpert. Yeah, Ghost Arm. So, I'm tinkering with the first-person camera. So, from an outside perspective, it's literally just a pair of like floating arms. Unlock. Pew. It's pew 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 pew. Okay, actually seems pretty good. Pew, 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 pew. I mean, obviously it's not shooting anything, but you know. Bang bang. I can pretend that it's shooting stuff. Bang bang bang. It's a machine gun, yeah. I mean, it literally just goes as fast as I can click. Pew pew pew. Pew pew. Apologies anyone if anyone is like photosensitive. Bah, 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 bah. Bah, 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 bah. That's actually kind of cool. Shooting so fast you can't see the bullets. Yeah. Oh, Slumper. You were lurking, so I'm guessing you weren't, because you were lurking, you were maybe not around to see the transition of the first part, where I did the transition into the first person. You're eating dinner. Ah. Food is good. I've got to get my food in a minute actually, so the screen is frozen. Is it still frozen? Hello. my stream audio is working, so it's probably on your end. It might be because my preview seems to be working. But yeah, I've Twitter's having issues loading. Oh, your internet's booked. Oh no. Oh dear. Rip Slumper. Yeah, what we've done, I'll describe it, is so we're doing a bit of testing for the combat zones for the game, and today I've done the transition. So like when we walk up to a certain point, of the I haven't re-enabled the thing. Basically, we've made the transition part of the combat zones. So when we're in the third person mode, we can walk up to a point and it will transition into first person, and it transition into first person, and then that's when Emmy pulls out the gun and he can run around and shoot stuff. Combat zones make you think of like a JRPG where wild monsters attack you and you go into a separate combat area. I mean, sort of. What I'm thinking of is, like, as you're playing the game, the main part of the game, it's going to be a semi-open world action adventure game eventually, and so you have like big open world areas where like you go around and you wander around in third person, but like during some parts of the game, like when you're doing like certain missions or something, you have like a combat zone. So you walk up to it and you go through a door. Artie, hello Artie. Yeah, so I'm thinking with the combat zones, how I imagine they're going to work is you walk up to a door and say like that door is like, it goes into a room where the combat zone is going to be. So you walk up to the door and it will do like a first person, it'll do a bit of a transition where like the camera will pan into the character's head and it becomes first person. So you have like a little any character and they'll pull out a little pistol and it goes into first person, and at that point you have enemies attacking you. You'd have to either like clear them out or like do a certain objective or something, or like turn the power back on, and then there'll be another door where like you go through and camera will pan back out, it'll go back into third person. So what I've done today is I've done a little test transition. So we run up to this little doorway, camera zooms in, and it loads into the first person, which is pretty neat. And then I've obviously just been playing around with the muzzle flash, getting that to work. So the next thing would be to like do enemies and actual like shooting mechanics, that sort of stuff. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of time because I've got to go cook dinner in a bit. But yeah, the main thing I wanted to do was get this transition done. But it's very, very simple. Gonna restart your PC real quick, see if you can actually see some stuff. No worries, Slumper. So what I'm thinking we could do is making dinner as you watch. Nice. What I'm thinking we could do is test out the exit transition. Where did I? Here. That's the animation. Scripts. There. I should make another script called Combat Transition Exit. Slumper, you can see things. I can fight. Hydrate. Oh yeah. Posture check and hydrate. Posture check. I was actually sort of I didn't have good posture then. Speaking of hydrate, I should probably go refill my drink. So I'm gonna go do that real quick. I'm gonna refill my cup super quick and I'll be back and I can show you guys stuff. Okay, I'm back. Okay, I've got a new drink. I'll take a sip for Artie. There we go. Beba. Thank you. Amethyst Amy, more like slouching Amy. So, you've probably seen in previous streams we've got a little third-person character. Can run around. Can do the things. We can run backwards. Move the camera about. So the transition I was talking about is if we run up to this little doorway, it'll do a little transition. It goes into first person. It's pretty neat. Ooh, in the middle of the screen now. Yeah. It's not zesty. No, don't have a zesty drink today. Unfortunately. It comes with a free suit. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to like the actual full game, it'll like the combat zones will only exist when Emmy is already, it becomes an agent. So yeah, and plus at the moment I've only got animations for like, I only have combat animations for the Agent Emmy model. So, but what I would like to do is I forgot to get the animation before the stream started. If we come into the transition bit, set the Emmy active. Basically, it's just an idle animation, but what I would want to do is add an animation where like she's sort of pulling the pistol out a bit, instead of just like stood there with it already out. Like she, like when the transition starts, like she draws the gun and aims it, and then that's when it goes into first person. But I'm just using an idle animation at the moment, so because that's what I got. Also, if we so where I've got that so basically where I've got, and whoosh, she's gone. Yeah, basically where I've got that test area set up is underneath the island. Because this is basically my developer scene where I test stuff out, and first person combat area is just sat underneath. The green patch is basically where I was trying out a little like kart thing, like racing Emmy. It doesn't have any, well, I'll make it active. It doesn't have any proper like controls on it. It's just a very, very basic third person movement thing. So it doesn't have any like proper driving controls. So, but it's pretty cool. It's just so like a goofy little thing I was messing with. Next up, Emmy Kart Deluxe 8. I was thinking like maybe I could put like a go-kart game in, like mini game into it, but I don't know if I will. It's just a little test. The other thing was this big black cube we've got. This was basically me testing out the interior for Emmy's house, because before you go onto the island, you basically wake up in Emmy's house, and then you leave to explore the island and stuff. And this was basically like to test the interior, and I didn't want the regular skybox sort of there, so I put it in a big black cube. But yeah, this is like a very basic layout of how I maybe wanted Emmy's house to look, or the interior. And we got the island, which we've worked on in previous streams. Do I build everything in one scene? Usually not. So usually what I'll do is, I try to keep the different scenes to a minimum, because the more scenes you have, the more the game has to have. But I will have one specific scene for. I'll usually title it a developer scene or test scene, and this is what I'm working in now. Is the developer scene, so I have that just for developing stuff and testing things. So short answer, yeah, it's just for testing. This is just for like testing stuff out, and I put lots of different stuff in it. So that's why I have like the different areas. And fun fact, actually, in Project Amelia, I don't know if anyone's played that. Anyone in chat has played it yet, but in Project Amelia, near the end of the game, you go into like a game developer building, and the lobby. So basically, I'll have maybe a couple scenes for like different levels, and so there's a big open city area in the game, and that's just one scene. But you have to, break into a studio, which is located in the big city area, and then when you do, it will load up another scene, and that's inside the lobby. So like outside in the city, that's one scene, and then the studio interior is a separate scene. But that initially, with the lobby of the studio, I was going to have the basement and the top floor offices all in one scene, and you'd have an elevator that takes you up and down. But just for time constraints and keeping stuff more organized, I decided to have the lobby, the basement, and the offices on separate scenes, just to keep things more organized. And I didn't want to have to mess around with like elevator physics and all that sort of stuff. So it was just a simple scene transition. But initially, I did want those three areas in the same scene. So actually, in the game, you can't see it because it's out of player bounds, but there is actually a prototype office and prototype basement in the studio lobby scene, and they're both above and below the lobby. It's just you'd never see them because they're out of bounds, and that's just an interesting thing. With this, I probably will have the Emmy's house. In terms of this, of course, I'm getting better at how I manage things and organise stuff and how loading things in and out works. I'm getting better at that stuff. So what will probably happen with this is Emmy's house interior will be in the same scene as the home island, but the house interior will just be like underneath the floor somewhere and out of sight. There will be like in an out of bounds area where like just playing the game you'd never see it, and then when you leave the house it will just load up the island exterior. And then for different islands and stuff that you'll probably travel to will just be in different scenes, and I'll have to do some like scene management and loading stuff just so it doesn't like cause performance issues, which I'm getting better at doing, and there's loads of ways to do it. So like if I go into build settings real quick, there's this bit here, so you can add open scenes, and you see like scenes, developer scene 0. So basically that's an active scene that will be built into the game, and obviously like I won't want the developer scene in the game when I finally release it, so I'll just like uncheck it. So like basically this will become a list of all the different scenes. There'll be scene 0 or scene 0 or scene 1 will usually either be the developer scene for like testing and stuff, or it will be the title screen. And then from the title screen, it'll go from like 1 to 2, and then 2 would be like the island, and then scene 3 would be like the city. Then I don't know, like scene 5 would be like a training island or something. I don't know. But yeah, I'd have. I can't remember how many scenes there were in Project Amelia. I think it was. There was the apartments, title screen, city, studio lobby, basement, office. So it'd be 6 scenes. There were 6 scenes in that. No, there would have been 8 scenes. The other 2 would have been developer scene and post-credit scene. It would have been like 7 or 8. So I'll count them again. So it'd be, in order, it would have been title screen, or in order, it would have been developer scene, which would have been 0. There was a post-credit scene, yeah. So it'd be developer scene as 0, then title screen, apartments, city, studio lobby, studio basement, studio office, which is 7, and then the credit and post credit would have been 8. So you and your dad go eat shawarma. Yeah. It's basically the 8th scene would have been credit and post credit. Actually, if I open up, I can actually close that. Open this up. And I can close that. What I'll do quickly, because I want to finish up soon. But if I'll show you some behind the scenes for Project Amelia. Why not? I'm not going to show any, like, I'm not going to spoil any of the story or anything. But I just want to show you some, like, behind the scenes stuff. I mean, with, like, developer test scenes, sometimes those scenes will sometimes turn into the first scene, like in Project Amelia, I think the developer scene was either duplicated into the apartment scene, or the developer scene then became the apartment scene. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've looked at this project, to be honest. But I just wanted to show the studio lobby bit. As soon as it loads, it takes a second to load. I need an SSD in this thing. Or at least, like, I just need a better computer, to be honest. Gonna grab coffee while it's loading. Yeah, it takes a second. I need an SSD or something. I just need something a bit speedier for loading. Like a few months back, I got the new Xbox Series S, and having an SSD in that is great. It's so speedy. Okay, it has loaded. So I got title scene, end scene, Yeah, there's a bunch of different scenes. Actually, I can turn the lighting off. So, interesting thing about the apartments bit. RT needing a better computer gang, yeah. So, fun fact about the apartments area is the initial apartment area is just one single bit, but if I, where is it? So you got the apartment building interior, and then you got the, so you got the apartment, which you start the game in, but then you go into a hallway, and then the hallway, what actually happens is it's just not active at the moment, but then when you go to leave the apartment, the hallway gets loaded, and then the apartment you start in gets unloaded, basically. Yeah, because the hallway, the apartment is actually sort of clipping between each other, so like when you go to leave, the hallway gets loaded, and then the apartment gets unloaded and is sort of hidden behind a loading screen which is in the canvas. So if I jump into this, so basically like you get this screen pop up, and then it'll unload the apartment, unload the hallway. It's a bit sneaky. But what I was going to show was this bit. Loading. So yeah, ignore the clipping, that's just the canvas. I can actually disable that for the moment. Bit sneaky, game dev in a nutshell, yeah. So basically, after you come in to the Amethyst Game Studio from the city, you come into this bit, which is the lobby, and basically come in through the back into the back area, and you take the elevator down, which is it does have a full interior bit, but if I clip out, because I can fly around. Oh, it wasn't actually. Oh, I didn't put the offices above. They're both below. So initially, I was going to have the lab area and the office below. Oh, and the office like all in one scene. You can see I actually started working on the basement area in here, because you got like a little computer, you got some stuff on the desk, and you got the doors here. But it ended up not being used. It's also the same with the office area. I started working on that as well, and then it just got moved to a different scene. Because like, look, I even have a door here. It doesn't even have a trigger box on it, so it's not actually interactable. This is what I mean. I was going to have it all contained to like one scene, but it just ended up just for like time's sake and keeping stuff a bit more organised. Like you can see from my assets bit at the bottom, it got a bit messy towards the end. So basically, the office and the basement got moved to their own. It got moved to their own scenes. So imagine being organised can be you. I mean, I'm not super organised myself, but like I do try to keep stuff when making games as organised as possible, because stuff just ends up getting lost. But yeah, something I love is all like the different like posters and stuff. Remember to eat your wonky apples. Just run. We got a Sarg poster. Got like some little bits and pieces. File organization is on point 80% of the time. Yeah, I'd say the same for me as well. I like these display cabinets with stuff in. You got like Mjolnir, got a little false, not organized game. I love this little Emmy figure. Yeah, I'm going to assume that you meant cute there. Slump up. I love this little Emmy. There's actually another one on the desk out here. Like, I kind of want to see if I can get this converted into a Ooh, display cabinet is cute. Yeah. I kind of want to see if I can get this Emmy figure converted into a what was it? I think it's an SLR file, so I can get it 3D printed. I have like a little 3D printed Emmy. I've always wanted to do. Since I started doing these little figures, I've always wanted to convert them into a 3D printed file, so I can like print them. We do like a little 3D printed false. Yeah, but we could also check out the city scene as well. It would be cool. But I also don't have a 3D printer, so... The city is actually pretty dang big. Can I turn off the fog environment? Turn off the fog. Yeah, without all the lighting and the fog effects, now the buildings are actually detailed. The buildings actually have like windows on them, but it's just like you can't really see it with all the like effects and stuff on. It's bug. Yeah, it's actually really big. If I zoom out, also get rid of the disable the canvas. Yeah. This is basically what the city looks like. Oh, let's make it a loading screen. I mean, for canvas, it's only that big because it's scaled to the screen. I mean, it's always that sort of size. You can't actually like change it. It's got to be like that. But seeing this city like this is actually kind of cool. But then if I turn the fog back on, put the lighting effects on, I mean, it's probably a bit dark on stream, but like that's with all the lighting and stuff on, and then if I turn it off, yeah, even without the fog, it kind of looks cool, but it's definitely better with a fog. Fog, it definitely looks better with a fog. It's supposed to be pretty dark, yeah. I mean, if it wasn't dark, it wouldn't look good. It wouldn't. It's definitely not the aesthetic that I'm going for. Also, the skybox is pretty cool, like the red sky and the... Yeah, it's moody. Also, like, really like the shop with all the stuff in. Yeah, Slumper, did you actually... I'm guessing you've played the game, right? Like, what did you think of it? Did you find all of the secrets and things? Cause there was a couple of things I did hide, like the collectibles and stuff. I also like how like thin some of the buildings are. Even tried to pay for the crowbar, but you can, yeah. I should have put in where like something where like you flick a coin onto a desk or something, or just like leave a coin on. Did you find all the secrets and stuff though, like the collectibles? Let's go. I should put this building back in for Agent Emmy for the city. Boxcone. What's the other one? The Amethyst Game Studio. And also like all these like obviously duplicated buildings. I was gonna have like a different variety of buildings. I actually had like I had like 3 different buildings modelled, but I ended up not using all of them, unfortunately. I don't think you found a lot of secrets. Found some stuff, but don't remember all of it. Ah, okay. I was going to point out like a couple of secrets like here in the city, but nah, spoilers. Spoilers, I'm not gonna. But yeah, I need to go and actually cook my dinner, so I actually need to wrap up the stream here. So I'm gonna say thanks guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. There's some pretty cool stuff today. Yeah, it's a little. I mean, we're going almost 2 hours. I do need to go cook food. Oh, because you didn't find enough secrets. No, you gotta play the game again and try and find them. Gotta find the secrets. I'm not gonna point them out. Not on stream anyway. Some of them you need to sort of come across on your own anyway. So, really, yeah. Thanks everyone for coming out. Appreciate it. Yeah, next time. I don't know when I'm gonna have time to stream next. Probably Wednesday next week. I'm working like 6 days in a row next week, so maybe Wednesday. Need to find at least 5 secrets for the third hour of the stream. Yeah. But yeah, next stream should be next week, probably Wednesday. And I think I might stream more Agent Emmy, because there's a bunch of stuff I want to do. Like I want to do more of the first-person gameplay. I want to do like the shooting mechanics, enemy mechanics. I want to do that sort of stuff. Also need some houses for the home island. Those need modelling. There's a bunch of stuff to do. So yeah. So I'm going to wrap up the stream here, guys. Thank you all so much again for watching and coming out and stuff. Appreciate it. I don't know if who's live? Who's live at the moment? Impish Fox is live. Homes for the House Island. Yeah. I think I might go raid. I might send you guys over to Impish Fox. So if you bear with me a moment. Yeah, thanks guys. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate it. We're gonna go and raid Impish Fox. She's playing Minecraft at the moment. I'm assuming she's playing on Symmetria, so I'm gonna send you guys over to her. I don't have a raid message. I just sort of raid. So go say hi to Impish for me. Show him some support and stuff. And yeah, I'll see you next time I stream. So yeah, thanks for coming out, guys. I appreciate it, and I will see you all later.